The last few years have been excellent for the Golden State Warriors. They have several role players to contribute to the basketball team, such as Andrew Wiggins, Brandon Podjamski, Jonathan Kuminga, Kevon Looney, among countless others that have really backed up their starting big three of Thompson, Draymond, and Steph Curry, and alongside Kevin Durant, of course. Um, it's really great to see the Golden State Warriors make some very great strides in improving the basketball team. But the Warriors have missed the playoffs for the for it's been for the first time ever in the Western Conference. 10 teams have won over 40 games, and one of them was Golden State Warriors, who have won 46 games and missed the playoffs entirely. Um, let's talk about the big elephant in the room, and there are many in the NBA actually, but there are act. Let's talk about the primary one right now, and then unfortunately there are some things that Golden State has to do to just fix themselves, and the primary thing I believe is that Steph Steph Curry's time in Golden State needs to come to an end. Steph Curry has been around for my entire generation. My entire life, Steph Curry has always been around. It is extremely resonated with the Golden State and the NBA at large at this point. You cannot think of Steph Curry and not think of the Golden State Warriors or the NBA in general. It is just so well known and has been through so many tough situations within the past 5 years where they have to go through so many different shifts that we see, and we've seen, of course, the Warriors in general over the past few years, half a decade now, honestly, or we see them go and be productive and get these. Well, I think honestly, since Monte Ellis, 15 years now, we see them go and take these huge steps in extremely different directions. But overall, since 2015, we have seen a stellar basketball team, at least for a very, very long time. The Golden State Warriors, in the beginning of their dominance, have gave us, and throughout Steph Curry's run in the NBA, has given us a fantastic player in Steph Curry, not even just in Steph Curry, and Draymond and Klay Thompson and in Kevin Durant. And every game leads us to think of something. Every game upon every season leads us to think of something that we hadn't thought of before, that wasn't possible previously. Steph Curry was just an energetic light. He was so pure and charismatic. Not even off of basketball, just the personality in general was pure and kid-like and fun and awesome and a role model. There were so many things given to us throughout the Golden State Warriors and Steph Curry that few teams have countered from the NBA or other organizations or other sports leagues in American history. And the unfortunate part about this situation comes down to the fact that you need to get rid of it. The decisions that the Golden State management could have made has left us a basketball team that just isn't as fleshed out and isn't as strong to its prior counterpart as in 2015, 2016. And I'm not saying that the new generation is worse off than well, that's, you know what, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that I cannot justify a Hall of Famer staying around for another 4 year deal, another 4 year deal, when this is a team that's only going to get worse. This is just a brand and a team that with age is only going to get worse. like I said before, the decisions that the Golden State Warriors and the management, the team could have made are extreme. You could have had a different player through the draft. The cool thing is that the cool thing about the NBA is that there's thousands of other prospects, and there are millions of high school prospects waiting to get their spot in the NBA that need to get a head fresh start, that need to get some experience in the league. You can go from any of those perspectives. You don't need to have to run Steph Curry in Golden State for his entire career. You can trade him. You can get another prospect and tell a story there. You have all these different situations. It just burns also on the 2019 and 22 NBA Finals, which is probably some of the best finals for the NBA ever, where Steph Curry has faced defeat and is now respected and gains sympathy from the NBA media, where he has to work his ass off, work his butt off to go back to the mountaintop, where he sees himself winning a title without Durant, where he sees Klay Thompson and Draymond Green not as good as they once were, where everyone on the roster is older, where he is the only one, where he is matured. The 22 finals is probably one of the best finals to the NBA that I've ever seen. And it was awesome, and it was so fantastic to see Steph Curry make it back on the top, and it was so realistic. The fact that we will only be a team. We will only be a formidable team for so long. Enjoy this. The fact that the Golden State Warriors did this so well. And we come to this point, and it seems as if the team at Golden State, whoever's running the ship now, or whether they completely switched out potential players, seems to completely ignore that, because this new version of the Golden State Warriors, although they had a winning season, is just completely ruined the 22 finals legacy. The idea that you grow out of these Golden State Warriors. We see many times that Golden State has been through a lot. We've seen, of course, the birth of a star in Jordan Poole, which I think when he was trading to Washington, he jumped the shark. We've seen many different time periods within the Golden State Warriors management, many arguments between Durant and Draymond. But at the same time, we've seen all these historic moments like the 73-9 season, which was supposed to end with a championship. Obviously, the Cleveland Cavaliers came back from the 3-1 series deficit, and we've seen multiple fluctuations in roster placements. But at this point, it would have made, and this is personally just me, but it would have made sense to let Steph Curry let Steph Curry have a finale in the 22 finals, and then let him get traded or walk off, and then jump into someone else's story, and just evolve into these players like Kuminga and Podziemski that can develop into potential all-stars. It's not like you have one all-star leading the way. You can have multiple role players that can develop into something and can take the load off of Curry. The Golden State Warriors can go on and become something else, and become a new players team. It doesn't have. It's the great thing is, I love Steph Curry. It's a player. He's a player that I remember watching for years and years and years and years. To see them go in this direction. And let's talk about Jordan Poole for a second. What Jordan Poole did to the franchise of Golden State. The shooting guard that they added to the team didn't need to be in a team with Steph or Draymond. The player that they added that developed into an all that could develop into an all star that we thought was slated to be the third splash brother to Stephen Clay completely destroyed the team chemistry of the Warriors and completely just altered Draymond's original personality. It just makes him turn even whinier. This layout is disturbing and disappointing just for an overall perspective of legacy. The Golden State Warriors needed to change, and was not the change that they needed. The career of Steph Curry needs to die. I love Steph Curry's story. I love Draymond Green. I just as I love Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson when they were, I not love, but I respected the grind that Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant, the contributions that they made to Golden State. I love everything about that. It was fun. It was cool. But like so many other All Stars that we've seen, whether that's the story of Wilt Chamberlain, Al Attles, Rick Barry, whether that's the story of Chris Mullin, whether that's the story of Tim Hardaway, whether it's the story of Weber, Sprewell, Baron Davis, Monte Ellis, these stories close, and you have to open the door and the floodgates to another. And the great thing about the NBA and the Golden State Warriors in general is that this book can be opened to a new chapter, and that someone else can take the reins. It doesn't need to be Steph Curry all the time. It doesn't need to be this Jordan Poole, who, as we later see, doesn't deserve to be on the team with Steph, Clay, and Draymond. It could be any prospect across the league. We can go diverse. We can have the next Manu Ginobili. We can draft another potential cornerstone of of the Golden State franchise through the draft, or we can venture off into something else. Do something new, adventurous, crazy. That's what I wanted to see. And maybe it's not. I know it's not what I want. But as a brand, come on. This is what the Golden State Warriors needed to do. It needed to shake up itself to get more people interested. So at this point in time, with the Western Conference growing at such a fast pace with many All-Stars coming out of the West, hopefully this really affects the ratings for the league. But at this point in time, I can only say that the Golden State Warriors need to get rid of and cut off ties with Steph and Draymond. That there is no reason that these players should last in Golden State any longer. The fact that this staying here is only going to hurt, is only going to damage, is only going to affect the legacies of Steph and Draymond negatively from here on out. And that stinks. I have many fond memories about the Golden State Warriors. And I will not have any further memories of the Golden State Warriors until Steph Curry and Draymond get traded or Steph Curry retires. I will not be watching Golden State Warriors. Maybe I will, actually. I can't just outright rule that out unless, there might be something good. But for now, I'm not interested in anything Golden State Warriors. I have hit my peak. It's disappointing. And apparently Podjamisi and Kuminga are getting better. I think they need to evolve as players. But for now, the Golden State Warriors have a spirit that can live on just with someone else. It's just so odd to see that this is the decision that they made. That they didn't go with anyone else besides Steph. They didn't get a new All Star or a new stop anything to contribute off of Steph Curry. We seen the Golden State Warriors management evolve players in a similar nature. We seen, I mean, look at Andrew Wiggins. He was doubted as a career. He was doubted for his career in Minnesota. Traded to Golden State. Next thing you know, he was an 18 point per game scorer, an All Star, and an NBA champion. So they can go in different directions. It's not like they can't. So I'm just incredibly confused as to why they didn't just take the 2022-2023 season or the season prior to just reboot everything. To just start over fresh. To give us something that is worthy of the Golden State Warriors name and not just ruin it. We gone from 73-9 and 4 titles in the last 8 years to now this. And I cannot say this is good. Guys, what are your thoughts? Thanks for watching. Comment below. Comment below, guys. Thanks for watching. It's your main man, Orion. And as always, stay tuned for more.